What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. This one's going to be messages from your spirit guides. For this reading, I'm going to be using 3 oracle decks and 4 tarot decks. Today we got the Mystical Journey Oracle, Alice in Wonderland, the Mystic Martian, Dark Mansion, the Anime Tarot, Porcelain Tarot, and last but not least, we got Cookie Story. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's take this one. This one kind of jumped out. The right way. This one came out last time too. Learning to create what you desire. Let's take one from the middle. Venusians, romance, soulmates, and empathy. Looks like this might be a love reading. Alright, we're going to pull 2 from the Dark Mansion. Well, 2 from all the tarot, but this is the Dark Mansion we're looking at. So, the Star. Okay, definitely looking like a soulmate reading from here. Let's see what the other one is. Especially with the Star coming out. It's a really, really good card. And then the Ace of Swords. I'll pull from the Anime Tarot next. This one kind of stuck out. 3 of Cups. Okay. This one looks like it's popping out. Ace of Swords again. Okay. The Porcelain Tarot. I'll pull 2 from this one as well. Oh, this one is backwards. Page of Swords. And I just went through this deck and sorted through everything too. Alright, let's pull 1 more from the Porcelain Tarot and we'll go from there. Is this one? 2 of Swords. Alright, looks like you're dealing with a lot of communication in this reading. Alright, we're going to pull 2 more from the Cookie Tarot, then I'm going to go ahead and see what I can get from this reading. It's definitely going to be a love reading for sure, with Venusians and the Star coming out. So let's see what happens from there. Alright. The 9 of Pentacles. And lastly, and we'll pull more cards for clarification as we go along. We got Ursula coming out with the Queen of Cups. Alright, let's see what this message is. Alright, so I feel like it's a pretty clear and concise message, so let's get right into it. With cycles of life, especially when it comes to relationships and looking for soulmates and the process of trying to figure out who is and who isn't going to, or who isn't currently aligning with, our visions for the future, we oftentimes tend to deal with a lot of heartbreak through that process and a lot of dealing with people who we might have thought were our soulmates or people who we thought were, the one that we would spend the rest of our lives with, but it sometimes just does not turn out that way. And when it comes to when it comes to trying to find that soulmate connection, sometimes that does come at the cost of allowing older connections to fall away. There are often times when we're trying to pursue that soulmate level connection where we can end up with an individual who might love us, but they might not be in the right place, or they might not have the capacity to love us or treat us properly. Especially when it comes to manifestation, we will set certain conditions as to what we want, but we won't actually believe that we can attain the manifestation that has all those conditions met. So many people say they want a loving partner, an empathetic partner, a caring partner, all these things. But when they have a partner that isn't really treating them properly, they will simply stay because, they experience some good moments with them. And when it comes to a soulmate level connection, you need somebody who's going to be clear about their intentions with you, clear where they stand, clear how they feel about you. There shouldn't be any kind of doubt or any kind of question as to how you feel or where you guys are standing or where things are left off. There there should always be a genuine effort on the other party to make that intention known. Now, this doesn't exactly apply to people who haven't healed from abandonment wounds and people who are not able to accept that validation when it comes in. This is for scenarios where, your partner just isn't giving you a clear denotation of where you guys are. Especially with the Ace of Swords coming out twice, the Page of Swords, and then even the Two of Swords. The sword suit is all about communication and intellect and being able to have that clear line of communication with your partner in this scenario. When you have a partner, you shouldn't feel anxious to interact with them or anxious to, resolve issues, especially over mundane or very menial things. I think one of my old friends said it best. I think the kind of partner that I want is like a best friend that you can shag, pretty much. But I'm saying this to essentially say that having a strong connection, having a strong foundation that is built on friendship and actually having a strong bond helps that soulmate level connection come through a lot clearer. Being able to have a healthy relationship to begin with is really important when it comes to trying to manifest a soulmate level connection instead of just settling for whatever or whoever comes through and whoever comes by your way. Both the Ace of Swords and the Page of Swords also deal with new energy. So oftentimes for us to allow a soulmate level connection to come through, we do have to let go of the old. It requires making a lot of choices that we don't always want to make, but might benefit us in the long run. But when it comes to that kind of connection that you're trying to manifest, this is supposed to be like a wish come true. It's supposed to be something that fulfills your soul, something that enriches you. It should be the kind of love that you actually dream of. And another thing is, it's perfectly fine to have standards of wanting a partner who can take care of you and wanting a partner who will give you a lifestyle that might be different from what you are used to living or different from what most people might consider, their normal or their standard. But that energy should definitely be reciprocated. Both parties should feel as if each other does what they can to make the other partner's life as easy as possible, to make their life as lush as possible, even just like the little things. It doesn't always have to be some grand notion or some grand scheme or some grand act to get your partner to appreciate something. Oftentimes, it's those little small acts of kindness that we do that don't go unnoticed, but we tend to feel as if they might, and we just don't act on them. But your partner should leave you feeling like this. It should have you feeling upbeat, bubbly, feeling full of life. It shouldn't make you feel as if a connection that is draining, the life out of you, something that frustrates you and adds on to your stresses. Oftentimes, we can be very quick to assign these titles to these individuals, and they don't realistically mirror back any of those actions that would, denote them being a soulmate level match. And this is actually going on a little longer than I expected, so I'm going to continue in part 2. Alright guys, here's part 2 of that soulmate reading. And funny enough, it's actually 12:12 as I started recording this. Anyway, let's get right back into it. So, getting back to what I was saying, When it comes to having a soulmate level connection, you want somebody who leaves you feeling fulfilled, somebody who doesn't leave you feeling drained, somebody who, doesn't really add on to more of your problems than they take away from. Like, this is supposed to be your divine counterpart, somebody that the divine sent to you from, like, heaven itself. It's supposed to be something that enriches your soul, not something that you feel like takes away from it or destroys it or chips away at it or damages it in some way. I'm personally not a fan of the notion of condoning toxic behaviors for certain narratives that might get spread throughout the community. There are so many concepts of having to struggle for your love and having love be something that you have to fight for. But why should it not be something that is easy? Why should it not be something that flows effortlessly? I'm not saying that we aren't going to have our moments of struggle or trials or tribulations, but it shouldn't be something that we have to go out of our way just to experience. When we are with somebody, why are we going out of our way to experience love when we are supposed to be with somebody who should be loving us unconditionally at that, if they are supposed to be our soulmate? All right, let's pull like a couple more and let's see what comes out. The Two of Pentacles. Both of these cards are about making choices. And the Two of Pentacles kind of also about balance and harmony. I feel as if you should be able to trust your partner in any situation. You should be able to trust them, if you're blindfolded, and in the worst scenario is what you should be able to, where's the faith that you should be able to have in your partner. Let's pull another from Cookie's story. And then the Tower again, coming in with that kind of upheaval when it comes to those old relationships and allowing the new to flow in. So again, when it comes to making sometimes really tough choices, we sometimes have to do what's best for us in the long run, instead of thinking that we are bound or limited to the circumstances that are currently around us. We shouldn't feel as if we are bound to one partner and we don't have any choice out of it. We shouldn't feel as if we are settling for a soulmate connection. Why are you settling if it's, your soulmate, if it's the other half of your being? So admittedly, tower moments are never anything that we enjoy going through, especially when it comes to love. But when you want to find that kind of connection, sometimes it does require stepping out of what you are comfortable with in order to experience what you truly desire. And then oftentimes when it comes to our paths, we tend to feel as if, we can leave it up to the gods or fate or, destiny when it comes to our love life and, finding these soulmate connections. But sometimes we have to be active in our pursuits to get what we want. And here's this little excerpt where Alice asks, "How am I to get in?" And the footman responds, "Are you to get in at all?" That's the first question, It was no doubt, only Alice did not like to be told so. So sometimes we end up trying to fight really hard to end up in somebody's heart, or to end up in somebody's life, or to end up as somebody's, partner. But is that really what we're supposed to be doing? Are we really, supposed to be fighting for love? Is it really supposed to be all of this effort just to be loved by somebody who is supposed to be, your boyfriend or your girlfriend or, what have you? Oftentimes we kind of cling to these things that aren't exactly healthy for us, and we keep on insisting that, this is what we want and this is what's best, when in reality, if we just let go a little bit, it might allow what we truly desire to come in, which is an actual healthy, loving, and fulfilling relationship. And we will end up idolizing somebody and putting this concept of who they are or who we want them to be onto somebody instead of who they actually are. And that is what causes a lot of damaging or a lot of damage and suffering in the long run, um, especially to us who are insistent that these people should fulfill these roles. And there are naturally going to be cycles in relationships. There are always going to be times where, your relationship might get tested, or you might have trials and tribulations. I'm not, saying that every love has to be this fairy tale romantic love that nothing ever happens and your partner's perfect and nothing ever goes wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But you should at least have the knowing that when things go wrong with your partner, that you guys are going to work it out, or at least do your most to figure it out together. You shouldn't feel as if you're the only person trying to make this relationship work. It shouldn't feel as if all of your efforts are, one-sided. There are going to be ups and downs in relationships, and there are going to be cycles and periods of times where you fall maybe more in and out of love with the other, but that is not the same as simply having somebody who just does not put forth that effort. Anyway, this kind of went on a little bit longer than I expected, so I hope this resonated with somebody. If you are interested in getting a private reading, feel free to book with me. The link is in my bio, and I hope you guys have a great night.